What is the biggest right in the world? Is it the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to free speech? Or is it something else? In this video, I'll share a story about a man who asked the Buddha this very question. The Buddha's answer may surprise you. One day, a man came to Buddha and asked him, "What is the biggest right in this world?" Buddha smiled and said, "The biggest right in this world is the right to be happy." The man was puzzled and said, "But how can one be happy when there is so much suffering and injustice in the world?" Buddha said, "You cannot control the external world, but you can control your own mind. You can choose to be happy or unhappy, regardless of the circumstances. Happiness is not something that depends on others, but on yourself." The man said, "But how can I be happy when I have so many problems and difficulties in my life?" Buddha said, "Problems and difficulties are inevitable in life, but they are not permanent. They are like clouds that come and go in the sky. They do not affect the sun that shines behind them. Similarly, you have a sun within you, which is your true nature, your inner peace and joy. You can always access this sun by being mindful and aware of the present moment. You can always find something to be grateful for and something to learn from every situation. You can always turn your problems into opportunities and your difficulties into challenges." The man said, "But how can I be happy when I have so many enemies and people who hate me?" Buddha said, "Enemies and people who hate you are not your real enemies, but your teachers. They teach you how to be patient, tolerant, forgiving, and compassionate. They teach you how to overcome your anger, hatred, resentment, and fear. They teach you how to love unconditionally and without expectation. They teach you how to be humble and generous. They teach you how to be a better person." The man said, "But how can I be happy when I have so many desires and attachments that are never fulfilled?" Buddha said, "Desires and attachments are the root cause of all suffering. They make you restless, dissatisfied, greedy, and unhappy. They make you dependent on external things that are impermanent and unreliable. They make you lose sight of your true self that is complete and perfect. You can be happy by letting go of your desires and attachments. You can be happy by being content with what you have and who you are. You can be happy by realizing that happiness is not something that you get from outside, but something that you give from inside." The man was amazed by Buddha's words and said, "Thank you for enlightening me. You have shown me the way to happiness." Buddha said, "You are welcome. But remember, happiness is not something that I can give you or anyone else can give you. Happiness is something that you have to find within yourself. Happiness is your birthright and your responsibility. Happiness is your biggest right in this world." The moral of the story is that happiness is a right, not a privilege. It is something that we all have the potential to experience, regardless of our circumstances. However, many of us make choices that prevent us from being happy. We may focus on our problems and difficulties, rather than on the good things in our lives. We may be attached to material possessions or relationships, which can lead to disappointment and suffering. We may also be caught up in negative emotions, such as anger, hatred, and fear. The Buddha's teachings on happiness offer us a way to overcome these obstacles and to experience true happiness. He teaches us that happiness is not something that we get from outside, but something that we give from inside. It is something that we create by being mindful of the present moment, by being grateful for what we have, and by letting go of our desires and attachments. If we want to be happy, we need to make a conscious effort to change our thoughts and behaviors. We need to focus on the positive, to let go of the negative, and to live in the present moment. We also need to be grateful for what we have, and to let go of our attachments to material possessions and relationships. When we make these changes, we will begin to experience a greater sense of peace, joy, and contentment. We will also be better able to cope with the challenges of life, and to find happiness even in the midst of difficulty. Let me share you some specific things that you can do to improve their happiness. Be mindful of the present moment. This means paying attention to what is happening right now, without judgment. When we are mindful, we are more likely to appreciate the good things in our lives and to let go of the negative. Be grateful for what you have. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can boost our happiness levels. When we focus on the things that we are grateful for, we feel happier and more content. Let go of your desires and attachments. When we are attached to things, we are constantly striving to get more of them. This can lead to disappointment and suffering. When we let go of our attachments, we are free to enjoy the present moment and to experience true happiness. Live in the present moment. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain. The only thing that we have is the present moment. When we live in the present moment, we are more likely to be happy and content. By following these tips, you can help yourself to improve your happiness and to live more fulfilling lives. YouTube Shorts.